We go preparing to live stream the meeting, and we are live.
Hang on a second. Are we live for sure? Okay, I found it. You are the thumbnail, Tim. Hold on, we got it. Well, who the fuck is digging through shit?
Sorry, that's me.
Andrew.
Sorry, no, that was me.
No,
Sorry.
I'm gonna blame. Oh, fucking Flavor. God damn it.
That was me. That was me. I'm sorry.
Bitches, what's good? YouTube, it is your boy Thesis, aka Thesis himself from VapingWithThesis. That's right, God bless it. Now, look, bitch. So, real quick, I do want to give a big shout out to everybody that's here right now. It's a Patreon page. We got Flavor Chaser in the house. More importantly, right now, as we speak, I apologize for the lack of content. The simple fact of the matter is, I've never made a documentary style video. So, the Barrage introduction video has turned into a literal documentary of like a short of the story of how it became a physical object from a napkin sketch since all the way back to 2015. So with that being said, please, bear with me. Thank you for being patient. Everyone on the Patreon page, you guys have been nothing but fucking amazing. The viewers, you guys have been nothing but fucking amazing. Thank you so much. With that being said, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsors, Trapped, eLiquid, NimbusHouse.com, as well as PodJuice55.com. Coupon code Thesis15. There is exclusive militia coupon codes on the Ninja Militia page on Patreon, as well as Skull Pods. These motherfuckers right here, I just fucking took two of them apart. Uno and Skull. I just got done talking to Pod Juice as well as Skull. It's SKOL, like it's like Swedish or Norwegian with two little dots. They are in the midst of the fight of the flavor fight, not only because it affects their business, but primarily because it affects the vape industry as a whole. They literally have people in Washington as we speak. So that is a huge reason of why I took them on as a sponsor. So big shout out to them. And I don't give a fuck how you feel about disposables. Anyone that's willing to put the amount of money that I know that they put into the fight, don't buy me. End of sentence. So real quick we're going to start out with AA Ron. Huge shout out to this motherfucker. Bro, shout yourself out real quick. What is your name?
Hey, my name's Aaron, or AKA Riot Vapes TX.
Rio.
Rio.
Tim, food and beverage consultant.
What's happening? I'm the food and beverage consultant of
And he's single.
And with big hands.
Ready to mingle.
Yes. I'm known as Chef de Vapor. So, yeah, I am glad to be here with Nas and everybody from the Ninja Militia.
Fuck yes. Andrew Vaporhaze all the way down in Southern California, fake ass Australia.
Yes, that's me. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I don't think we're live.
I'm watching it live right now.
Okay.
That's that Australian internet, bro.
And it's not coming up, so.
At all.
Vaporshaze.com.au.
Fuck yes.
Oils and juices.
Hold on a second. Do we have a Vaping with Thesis coupon code?
Only if they're in Australia.
Okay. Well, then let's make one because you can't just shout out a website without there being a code.
Okay. All right. We'll do it. We'll do it right now.
Right now, even if it's 5%.
Right.
Fuck it.
I have a coupon code for mine.
Me too.
The Real Stroke Diesel, Mike. Love you, Andrew, by the way.
Love you too, bro.
Stroke Diesel.
Howdy.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
All right. Moving on to Flavor Chaser.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Flavor Chaser, e-juice reviewer. Everybody should know me pretty much. I do a lot of e-juice reviews, hardware reviews, all that good shit. YouTube.com/Flavor Chaser, and I'm out.
Beautiful. Look at this
There you
dude.
go.
He's got his shit on
Plain
point, son. Twisted Hex.
I could go ahead and shout out.
Oh, wait. Do you have coupon codes?
I do. I have one. If
Shout
you guys
them
shop at if you guys shop at ejuice.deals, hopefully when these fucking motherfucking politicians and governors and presidents, they already banned flavors in New York City, so you know how that's going down, and they're trickling down the pike. If you guys shop at ejuice.deals, use the code flavor15, get yourself 15% off your order at ejuice.deals, courtesy of Chaboy. End of story.
Chaboy. Well, hold on. Is there nicotine in there?
Absolutely. If you want nicotine, you can get nicotine. But yeah, you can just use it at ejuice.deals, and it works. So I don't want to take up your time here. Go ahead, dude.
That's my favorite. I could just
That's
listen.
your favorite. I know you could listen to nicotine all fucking day. I love it.
Twisted Hex, my Ninja Kitty. Well, first of all, where are you located?
Nicotine.
You talking to me?
Canada?
You're in Canada?
Oh, you're not talking about it.
I have a fucking package that got sent back for you.
Oh yeah.
I just realized it's a panda bear package. I don't know what's in it. It's been so long, but it literally got delivered to my house like a month and a half, 2 months after I sent it, and it just got sent back. And I cannot tell you why. But the condolences on it, is that what it's called?
Condolences is when like somebody dies.
Oh, not condolences. The customaries, it fucking says does not match contents.
Oh yeah, that's customs.
Customs,
Mhm.
customs, motherfucker.
Customs.
So
go.
all I put was machining parts in it, and I don't remember what I had put in it. Actually, I'm obviously vape shit. So you have a package. If you want to come and get it, I don't know how else to get it across the border, bro.
Shit.
I'm Mexican, but I can't make packages. You know.
You're gonna have to grease somebody up to get that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Grease.
Okay,
You're gonna have to
Nas.
lower that pocket.
Live now. Thesis 15 for 15% off your entire order.
On
At
what's the website?
vaporshaze.com.au.
Thesis 15. Look at that shit.
Say it again.
www.vaporshaze.com.au.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, I only ship within Australia and New Zealand.
That's perfect. How come? So how far is New Zealand from Australia?
It's across the water. It's a 6-hour flight to Melbourne, and I think it's a couple of hours from there. So I don't know, it'd take me like 8 hours.
What about
It
Jesus?
says a direct flight.
So from the most outer edge of Australia to the most inner edge of New Zealand, how far is it?
If there's a direct flight, it'd be an 8-hour trip.
No, but I'm saying from the furthest part, like the closest two parts.
All right, hang on.
Never mind. I'm getting a map.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that trip and tell you how far it is.
Flavor Chaser, can you take this over? What review do you got coming up?
What review I got coming up? The next one is probably, to be honest with you, is going to be the Asmodus. What is the one you're using? The Tribute?
Yeah, the Tribute.
The Tribute. That one's coming out as per hardware reviews. I also got, I already talked to you before, I got your Barrage in the mail, and that looks fucking sick, so I can't wait to build on that. And I got special set. I got 4 M-Turk aliens that are, single them up, throw them in there. I'm going to flavor the shit out of it. And as per Juice Reviews, I believe the superb salt e-liquid, the Nectarberry, that one's coming up for flavor reviews. And that's it.
You're a good consultant.
I hope so.
So real quick, it's from Sydney to Auckland is 3 hours. That's the question I was asking. The closest.
Okay. That's between the eastern and the western of there. I'm on the western side of Australia, so I've got to add another 6-hour flight.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so
depends on the layover.
what was I going to get at? Okay, so in terms of consulting, I need some questions for you, bro. Best menthols, top 3 or 4 menthols.
Me?
Yep.
All right, menthols. Believe it or not, the best menthol I got was from a company out in I think it was in Europe somewhere, but they had this e-juice that was they incorporated. I forgot the name of it. I'd have to look it up, but I did a review on like 5 of their flavors.
Okay.
And they had it. Like I said, forgive me, I forget where it's from. But Coastal Clouds make some good e-juice. I don't know if they do menthol. And believe it or not, I haven't really reviewed a lot of menthols on my channel, so I really don't have that many. But I think there was a series also from, what's the name of that? Beyond Vape. That Beyond Vape did a good set of e-liquids. I think it was like the Drip series or some shit like that. They made good menthols. It's really smooth. And like I said, I don't really have too many menthols, but if you're talking about flavors and shit, I'm all game. But I hardly review menthols on my channel, so I really don't have a good concise answer for you.
Then that's the most common, even amongst e-liquid reviewers, even amongst text e-liquid reviewers who actually type the shit out. It's hard to find a solid fucking menthol or a solid fucking mint. And the top two I've ever found in this industry, there's three. If you're
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me cut in here for a second.
Yeah.
I just reviewed Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie. If
Okay.
you like mint, it tastes exactly, bro. I actually lost my mind on a video how much it tastes exactly like a York peppermint patty. Like, there's very rarely do I get an e-juice that when I taste it on we call it knucking or whatever, you knuck it on your hand, you taste it, it tastes exactly like the food that it's representing. But when you vape it, it vapes the exact same way, and that blew my fucking mind. And it wasn't like a cool menthol, it was a mint menthol, and it was fucking outrageous. It's like a dark chocolate and a mint, and it tasted exactly like York peppermint patties. It was fucking, yes, the Girl Scout cookies or those little
Thin
Andes
Mints.
cookies. Yes,
Yeah.
the Thin Mints. Bro, I never got blown away when I reviewed an e-juice as much as I did that day, because it brought me back to when I was a fat fuck and I ate nothing but York peppermint patties and mint and chocolate. It was uncanny, the resemblance. So I gave it a really good rating on my channel. So if you're looking for a good mint and chocolate, like seriously, Shamrock Cookie by Sad Boy. Even though I'll say this now, I know I talk a lot. I hate their fucking labels with those big childlike lemon head.
Yeah.
I fucking can't. And I blasted them plenty of times on the channel, but their e-juice is really good. So
It's hard. It's one of those things. What do you support? Are you supporting are you supporting their flavor? Are you supporting the skill of the chemist or their mixer, or are you going to support their marketing team? It's one or the other.
Yeah, no, their marketing team needs to go take a fucking hike, because it was, I don't know if, believe it or not, I don't know if there's a lot of e-juice reviewers out there, but I reviewed like fucking 700 e-juices on my channel. So maybe word got out from one of my reviews that I blasted them on the labels, that just recently, I'd say a few months back, they got rid of that cartoon shit and just put their business name and all that shit and just the flavor of the e-juice. But they honestly, their marketing team can go suck a dick. Their e-juice is really fucking good, and I've blasted them plenty of times.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, especially because nothing's perfect. Nothing is ever perfect, nor should it be.
No.
At the end of the day, it's all opinion based. One of my favorite, it's one of my favorite companies in terms of marketing. And I think I've talked about this in the past. I've never tried any of their liquid except for a couple times in a tester way back in 2014, 2015. 5 Ponds. It's one of the most classiest, old school, beautiful, adult-oriented labels I've ever seen. And if you haven't seen like a 5 Ponds label, look that shit up. If you're new to vaping, for example, 5 Ponds used to be, and still is, like one of the most complex sorts of, I've always found it muddy, but it's one of the most complex sorts of vapes you could ever have. Look at the labels, the oak barrel. Thank you, baby. Are you naked? Yes, you are. Hi. I love you. Oh, you got me icicle water? Amanda. A full scoop? That's why we're getting married. I love you.
Oh boy.
Mwah.
Oh God. So cute.
Fucking cute. She's like, you look sweaty. So, so 5 Ponds is one of those ones. Another company. So the 3 menthols I always recommend, because it's such a hard. I've tried the same amount of liquids you've tried in general is what I've tried in menthols, and that's not an exaggeration. I probably spent $1,000 a month the first 3 years of vaping, and that's, again, without exaggeration, close to it, just looking for a menthol. Simply Vapor Menthol out of basically Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's not Minneapolis, it's just outside. Simply Vapor Menthol, and it's a tobacco menthol. So if you're getting off cool hundreds like I was, that will get you the fuck off. Number 2, the one that I discovered that became my daily vape every day since 2015 in Chicago is Vape Dude's Ice. And then I cut that with VG 16 milligram menthol and a double shot of menthol flavoring 50-50, and then I cut 1/3 with just plain VG to sweeten it up. If you want throat hit, that's it. And I want to, when I vape, I want it to feel like somebody is like forcefully shoving an SOS pad on my esophagus. Like I need it to
Wow.
hurt hard.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I used to watch a lot of your videos, and like I said, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you were the only person that I remembered that vaped nothing but menthol. Are you still doing that?
That's
Do
it.
you
That's all I
vape
can.
straight menthol?
Straight
Really?
menthol. That's
Wow.
all this is. And then my daily vape. The reason why Pod Juice became a sponsor is specifically because I never found a Saltnik or just any mint flavor that I thought was even worth fucking
Pod
anything.
Juice, I reviewed them, and they make some really good fucking Saltnik. I got to give it to them on that.
The
And
throat
the
hit,
guy-
the flavor is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
It's good. It's good. I remember giving them a good review. They actually make some kick-ass salts.
Yep, the fucking the belts burst again.
Yes.
The childish fucking, and it's not even childish labels. It's the fact that it's a cartoon and like a splashing of like blah 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 blah. That shit is
Listen,
unnecessary.
As far as I go with child appealing labels, cartoons don't belong on a fucking label. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me. I've had you remember that company, what was it, One Hit Wonder? I used to do a lot of reviews for them, and then they went down the fucking shitter with that apple juice, that apple box. You remember that juice box they came out with?
I have the bottle right there. It's garbage.
My son, when he was around, I want to say around 3 or 4, I had it on my desk. I was going to do a review for it. He came up, started walking up to the desk. He goes, "Papa, juice." I'm like, no. And that's when, listen, I keep all my liquids fucking locked up. They can't touch them anyway. They're old enough. But ever since that fucking day, I'm like, no, you cannot market. Like, it looked like a school juice box you put in your kid's lunch, and motherfuckers were going crazy over it.
100%.
Now that is too much. When you market to children, you're doing that shit on purpose. You think adults are liking that kind of shit, but we're really not. You know what I mean?
Hold on, that's not always the case. I like those labels. I'm also an old school hip hop head, so when I see like colorful graffiti, to me that's
different.
That's but I can also see when someone sees colorful graffiti, that does it's very enticing if it's rainbowy. My 6-year-old fucking loves rainbows and bright shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know who does that? You know who does that on their label? Lost
Who's
Art.
That? Lost Art. Good example. They're pretty adult appealing though. Like their labels are pretty. Yeah. They're pretty borderline. I would call that borderline.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. But as far as like, cartoon characters and all that shit, that's when it's just a little bit too much.
The other one is when they actually look like labels, like the actual candy, like the Sour Patch.
Right.
How many times have you seen a Sour Patch? Yep.
Fucking, I ripped them apart so many fucking times in the videos. Those like the sour worms or the gummies, they got the little gummy motherfuckers on there. That is just a little bit, that's taking it too far. But as far as graffiti, I can deal with that. You know what? Yep. I was born in fucking 80s. You know what I mean? I can appeal.
And you're
to
also
that,
in fucking New York.
Yeah, I'm in New York.
You see the real shit. These fucking guys.
Get the fuck out of here, right?
Fuck out of here,
three of these fucking vape shops, and I'm talking serious. 3 vape shops have fucking closed down where I live. It's fucking ridiculous. They're selling is CBD liquids.
So real quick,
it's terrible.
How do you feel about these labels, Flavor?
Beautiful.
Go back. I can't see him. Say something so it'll stay.
Yeah. How do you feel about these ones?
Those are not bad because see that's not cartoony. That's the guy's face. That's what's his name?
Eric.
Eric. I met him in NVE in Ocean. What was that? In Long Island when I was hanging out with all the other reviewers over there. Those labels ain't bad. Long Island, right?
Long Island,
say fucking right.
So
yeah, those labels I can deal with, but as far as taking it, putting like Thesis said, with the cartoony shit and the things that look exactly like the candy, now you're just fucking asking for it. You know what I mean? It's just that's the point where you have to say enough is enough. You as an e-liquid company, yeah, see like that. I don't like
shit like that.
Yeah, no, and I don't like.
That's a disgusting liquid.
That is the label matches.
Let me ask the panel a question. This is for anybody who wants to answer. Do you, and then Flavor Chaser, I don't want you to answer this. Do you or do you not think that if the labels were changed, Yoda, let's see. Excuse me. If the labels were changed, meaning not even changed, if the labels never were like this, 2014, and they were just a black and white, basically like look at Bogans, for example. Good example. Bogans, black and white, but it's just dope enough for you to catch your eye. Do you think the industry will be in a different place?
Oh, I got an answer.
And like this one as well.
Do it again, Andrew.
Yeah,
Like coil turd as well.
Yeah, Coulter.
yeah,
Perfect.
that's good. That's classy right there.
Do you think?
That's
And
good.
everyone that's in the chat, I wanted. Would vaping be in a different place?
I
Most
feel
definitely
like
will.
I want to say that it might be slightly mitigated by a change like that, but I don't think it would be so much of a difference that we wouldn't possibly be in the same position we are right now.
And I
Yeah.
can answer that, but let me know when I can get my feedback on that.
Yep. Is
I'm
that
good?
Tim? What about yourself?
Oh no, go ahead.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I was typing.
If labels were black and white, just regular as fucking classy, do you think the state of vaping would be any different than it is today in
Yes.
terms of the bans?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely different. That's what they're doing in the UK right now with cigarettes. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe.
You want to hear some shit? You want to hear some shit? Can I talk? Is it cool with these?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
All right, listen. I was just looking on my Facebook or Instagram, and I seen somebody post a picture, and I think these were Mexican cigarettes. I think they were coming from Mexico, where everybody was talking about they're banning flavors in the States, and Marlboro and these big tobacco companies are now coming up. Bro, I didn't believe it. I don't know if they were trolling me or not, but there's a pack of Marlboro, right? And it's got like this color, what is it, like a spectrum kind of thing? And
Yep.
when you light the cigarette, as it burns, it's rainbow ashes.
Oh
And
my
they
good
just
God.
approved that. And that just really, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they were trolling or what, but in order for the somebody in in high standing approved these cigarettes for sale, and yet they're fucking with us with the vaping and the flavors and all the shit. That doesn't make any sense to me. But going back to what this dude was it? I know you guys seen the New York Council meeting where everybody had the testimony stuff. That guy Matthew Elliott, he posted up and he got his chance to do the testimony where it goes back to the master, what was it, the master something agreement,
Master settlement
Master
agreement.
settlement
master
agreement.
settlement agreement, where everybody has to, all these states need to get their money from big tobacco, and they pay them every year. So it all trickles down to, like he said, I couldn't agree with him more, blood money. So it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm going to jump into your point about 2014. I don't think it would have changed anything because of the names and the flavors. And these people, these congressmen and politicians, are actually going after the fact that it's cotton candy, rainbow. So the labels, in my opinion, I don't believe would have changed really much. It would have made things worse, obviously, from the cartoony shit. But going back to that, I think just because of the name and it's child appealing through that, it would have still been the same. Because, like I said, people are losing money, and they would have lost money since 2014 to now. So it really won't make a difference, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
So you don't think it made a difference?
The plain
I don't
packaging
think- I
that
don't
Tim
think-
was. Sorry.
Go ahead. No,
The
speak
plain
up.
packaging that Tim was talking about in the UK, they've done something similar here for the last few years, and it hasn't really worked. They've got shit like this, and it hasn't dropped the smoking rate at all.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. You're right.
They kind
It's
of
fucking-
became like Pokemon cards. Got to collect them all.
It's a goddamn shame, to be honest.
Big range.
Nas, hold on just a second.
It's-
Hold on. Mr. Hayes, Jay Hayes is trying to get the link.
I sent it to him on his email.
He didn't get the link.
And if you're anyone that's on the Patreon page, you're free to join. I posted the link on Patreon. Anyone is how do you say that? You're good to go. Keep going.
What we're doing.
Andrew.
Yeah. So they just sort of became like a Pokemon thing. Got to catch them all, and some of the stories that go with the pictures aren't even real. There was a guy they had with him on his deathbed. They showed a picture of him 6 weeks before where he looked nice and healthy, and then they showed a picture of him all skeletal, and they're saying it was 6 weeks. But from what I've heard, the true story behind the photo was the guy had cancer that wasn't even related from smoking.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
We called him Deathbed Brian.
That's
Let
like
me
the
ask you
opposite
guys-
of Marlboro Man. That's using a dying person as an ad
Let me ask,
campaign.
Listen, to comment on what you're saying, Thesis. You seen
There
that
you go.
girl in the hospital? You seen that girl in the hospital bed?
Yeah,
with the ventilator on.
Yep.
How the fuck are you even awake when you have one of those ventilators down your fucking throat, holding up a sign? You know what I mean? Like that's got to be some fucking stage bullshit. Because I've seen people on ventilators. My mother passed away from lung cancer, and she was on a ventilator, but she
I'm
was
sorry to
out.
hear that, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It sucks, bro. She died. Listen, if I would have known about vaping back in 2001, it possibly could have saved her. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
now it's tragic. It really is.
One of the biggest reasons I believe that my mom is still here is specifically because of vaping. So let me give a brief story that I've told before. But regardless, so my mom, she didn't tell me. She didn't really tell anybody, and I was a little upset about it. My grandma died of lung cancer in the same fashion that your mom did, that your mom did. So what ended up happening was my mom, years later, my mom smoked 2 packs of Winston Hundreds a day. I smoked 2 to 3 packs of Cool Hundreds a day, and I finally quit. I finally quit in 2012 via vaping. Started in vaping in 2010 because of a truck stop, believe it or not. And they, long story short, told my mom. I tried to get my mom to quit smoking through vaping. It didn't work. They said, choose. You have 2 choices: your leg or those cigarettes. Because luckily, my mom's heart and everything was okay. Her lungs weren't great, but everything was okay. But her leg was at the point where they're saying, like, every time you fucking take that cigarette, it's blocking your fucking shit. She didn't eat bad. She didn't fucking, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that. She quit immediately, went to vaping. After they did that surgery, they kept checking on the rest of her veins, her arteries. Doc said, whatever you're doing, please continue to do it because it's working.
Yep.
And my mom does have a mild case of COPD, but she doesn't need oxygen. She just doesn't need anything like that. Long story short is, I believe because of 5 years ago, when my mom quit smoking, almost 6 years ago now, quit smoking via vaping. And she still uses an NET. I would prefer her not to, but she still uses a naturally extracted tobacco flavor. But it's helped. It's done what it's supposed to do.
Look, man, I'm really glad to hear that. To be honest with you, my mother never had that chance. But it's really good and refreshing to know that, your mom's still here because of vaping. You know what I mean? She wasn't aware of vaping, my mother. I wasn't aware of vaping at the time. I was ignorant. I was fucking young. I didn't have any. I was smoking 3 packs of Marlboro Menthol Hundreds a day. And as she was dying at the funeral and at the burial, I would smoke. And it didn't make any sense to me, but I still did it, like, because of the stress, this insane amount of stress. But like I said, I mean, what they're doing to us is just, it's really like, it physically turns my stomach, like, because they're trying to take away something that can help so many fucking people and still does. You know what I mean? So
100%. And the other part that's not really touched on as much is the financial situation that it puts people in. I know so many people who've invested their life into a vape shop or into a liquid company that they're done. New York, done. Their shop is going to close in under a week.
Yep. Mr. E-Liquid.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Prime example.
His shot. He's got over what? 460 employees that are dependent on him and a salary every year. And you know what? It boggles my mind how they could just say, no, fuck vaping, close your shop. Do you have it's not about public safety and public health. It's about filling their fucking pockets. If they're not getting the amount of money that they're used to, they're going to take down whoever the fuck they want that's in their way. End of story. And that's how I see it.
Jay, you have a shop.
Ridiculous.
You have direct understanding. You and I were just talking the other day. You are going to be affected directly. What are first, I want to go back to the labels. Do you think anything would be different?
No, absolutely not. I don't think the labels even fucking matter at this point, because it's not an argument that anybody's using. The argument is teens vaping and it's pods. Now, if we would have had this discussion, if we would have had this discussion 9 months ago, I'd say yeah. But clearly that's not a topic of discussion. But I don't think that's where it all stems, because
no,
as much as people could use that argument, you can't, because the Disney pops that have alcohol on it have a cartoon character on it at Disney World.
Yep.
So
Right.
it's an argument that a lot of people used, and whether or not we agree with it is irrelevant, because where we're at right now literally has nothing to do with that. Kids don't give a shit what cartoon is on what. I mean, look at Jewel Pods or the UL Amulet that have nothing to do with.
I was going to say it's exact same thing. My argument against the label situation would be Jewel Pods. That's the number one most used quote unquote vaping device by teens, and there's nothing rainbow-esque or cartoon-esque about the fucking label. There's just not.
Right.
It's a convenience factor. And
Jay, what? Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, and I'll be brutally honest. I was talking to somebody about it recently who hated Jewel knockoffs, basically, and I was like, look, if I'm a smoker and all I want to do is just get my Nick habit, and I don't want to fuck with any of this shit, the Jewel is a perfect device.
Yeah.
And the Jewel, the Pods, it's just a perfect device. As frustrating as that may be, there's no thought. You pick it up, you use it. When you're done, you throw it away. It's so simple.
That's why kids are sneaking that shit into school.
100%.
Stick it in their fucking pocket. And Jay, what's up, Jay? Haven't said hello to you.
What's going on, brother?
I got a question for you. What you were talking about on your live show the other day, what they want to do in Jersey is fucking ridiculous. They want to ban vaping completely, right? Like, and put criminal charges.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a device, doesn't matter if it's cotton, battery casing. Even as far as the little, I don't have any with me, but the little plastic things that hold the batteries in 18650, because that's affiliated with an 18650, you can't do that. So I have no idea where someone like lithium, there's a place on Route 18 that sells 18650 batteries. And the way that the law is written, that if 50% or more is anything vape related, so is the battery store on Route 18 going to be a vape store? Because they sell a lot of 18650 batteries.
You could use those for flashlights, right?
Right, absolutely. That's what they're designed for. It's flashlights.
Couldn't you technically classify yourself as a flashlight store?
No, because more than 50% of my income is from vape related products. It doesn't matter if this law passes, vape life as we know it will be gone. It's that simple.
And Jay, let me ask you another
millions of dollars, like millions of dollars. That's not $30,000.
How many shops do you have? I remember
2.
speaking to you. You have 2, and they would be completely fucked, right?
Wiped.
3, including the ISO, the ISO approved lab.
Yeah,
My
3 if you're including the lab, which still can conduct business. It's just a matter of, well, if the law passes where nothing vape related, I'll have to manufacture Vaseline or something. I don't know.
Damn, bro.
So how many people does that put out of work, Jay?
Well, that's where it gets a little gray. I'd say roughly 9 people, roughly shutting down 9 people. A lot of them are new employees, but that's not, whether they're new or not is irrelevant. The fact is that it's 9 people. Well, it's 8 people because the lab guy would be fine. So 8 in total.
Is there nothing that can be done to be maybe possibly bring up a lawsuit, being that so many businesses are just being shut down?
Like a class action.
That argument, I had Turk and Eric, the guy that you just showed the e-liquid bottle. He was in my Edison shop tonight, and we were talking because Turk's going around to all the New Jersey shops and letting them know about the situation. While Hazers, on the other hand, are calling a bunch of shops in northern New Jersey and Pennsylvania to let them know about the situation. Guys, you have no idea the intensity of this. If this goes through, I'm telling you that other states will follow.
It's going to trickle. It's going to trickle down. Yep.
Listen,
dude, it's happening here. Where all the shops in New York, there's a lot of shops where I live that they sell nothing but e-juice and some pods and shit.
Most shops' revenue is generated from wholesale and e-juice. Yeah,
right.
E-liquid.
It's a tragedy, man.
I was talking to one of the owners here. They own 3 shops, and I said this. I asked them the same question. I'm like, so what would happen? God forbid, what would happen if there was either a flavor ban or a vape ban? They're like, we go under immediately. And I'm like, how much money do you guys bring in via online sales. And they're like, I don't know, maybe 10% of their sales. But what is it with hardware? They said maybe 15. I'm like, what the fuck else are you selling? Like e-liquid. That's the rest of it. All of it is e-liquid. Especially in-house. In-house e-liquid specifically.
Well, that's what I was saying. I got a little off track. So about the businesses shutting down, when I was speaking to Eric, essentially what is happening in New York is, as far as the class action lawsuit is concerned, even if you file a lawsuit or you file an amendment or you file an appeal, or one of the representatives goes against it like they're doing in Michigan, that doesn't help out the situation, because it may help out in 90 days when it expires, or it may help out in 15 days, but you have a deadline that you have to meet. So that means that in that deadline, you have to get rid of everything. Or my argument when I was talking to Eric tonight was, what you could do is close your business, like close the doors, no sales. And then you hope to God that there is an appeal or something that allows you to reopen a door. But if nothing happens, then you're sitting on product, and now you legally can't do anything with it. Like, even
can you even do online sales? Is that a different EIM?
No.
I was just going to ask.
No.
I was just going to ask, what happens to online?
Nothing. That's a lot of shops in New York. Again, going back to the New York thing, they're brick and mortars, right? They're small little mom and pop jammies, but the problem is that they don't have an online presence. Like, they're not like Vape Life. They're not like Vapor DNA. They're just mom and pop shops. So they're pushing their shit out to their local people, and that's it. So the benefit of Vape Life is, because I have a presence, I drop a sale, everybody will jump all over that. And let me just say this. Let me put this on fucking record right now. For anybody out there that's watching this show, or God, this irritates me so much, and I'm speaking in regards to a business. If anybody out there, and you're one of the people that are watching this, and you're emailing companies, hey, I heard about your flavor ban. Can I get some free fucking juice?
Holy shit. People are doing that?
Let me tell you something. You're a fucking dirtbag. Okay, because you are not part of the problem. You're part of the. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. You're asking companies to give you free shit, which they're already going to go bankrupt over.
That's
you want
like
them to go extra bankrupt.
That's the same thing as walking up to a cancer patient who's terminal and saying, "Yo, can I get some of your shit at your house? You're not going to be using it in loot."
Yo, let me tell you something. I got a lot of fucking emails. Okay, I got a lot of fucking emails. You got
I got a lot of comments saying, give me your e-juice that you don't use. I'm like, you got to be out of your fucking mind, man. That's
right?
Crazy.
Like, what the fuck?
Nah, man, fuck that. I mean,
and then there's people. There was people on the Facebook group tonight that was like, "Oh, I heard about the Jersey vape ban. So when is everything going on sale on Vape Life?"
Like, I will go fuck your mother. That's what I would say. That takes balls.
Wow, dude.
I've had to block people
I would literally punch you in the throat.
Right.
I would punch you in the throat in real life.
I've had to block people for just saying the words, give me free shit. I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, when you ask a business who's possibly going under that affects a shit ton of people, who could possibly
free shit.
Okay, let me get some free shit as you guys die.
Yeah, that's tantamount to what Thesis said. Hey, you're dying anyway. Let me have access to your house so I can grab what you have. That's just going low. You know what I mean? But to do that with businesses, you got to be out of your fucking mind, man. That takes no class.
You've got to assume that's happening on a mass scale, right? I mean, people are pieces of shit
on a mass scale. I'm not going to say other names of other companies, but it is happening on a mass scale. So
you're right.
Like,
put them on blast.
Wow, dude.
I'm
embarrassed. You are literally a dirtbag. Like, I'm sorry. While someone's falling down, you're kicking them in the fucking face.
Right.
That's exactly what you're doing. This guy's balled up on the ground, crawled up in a fetal position, surrendering, and you're pounding on the back of his fucking head.
Take away his membership his membership card to the fucking human race. That's like acting like one of these politicians. Like, hey, and what got me going is what Cuomo said. That motherfucker's just like, hey, he's like, hey, yes, vaping is better than smoking. What?
When my 60-something-year-old mother tells me about this, she's like, hey, did you see what Cuomo said? Fuck yes, I saw what Cuomo said. But how did you find out about it? Like, it was that infuriating. And I'm like, wait a second. We found a cure for cancer. But so what?
Yeah, well, so what? Let the people die. Like, fuck you, man. Like, I don't even know why he's in office, this guy.
Did you guys see the interview he did today?
No.
Where he's talking about marijuana's next?
Shut the fuck up.
oh my God, this guy needs to be impeached or kicked
I think
out
it
of
was
the
on
office.
CNN. It was either CNN. I can't on this
Oh, my-
laptop, but it was either
How
CNN
can
or
people in
Fox
such
News.
high positions be so uninformed?
It's CNN.
It's
or
They're
not,
Fox
he's
informed.
clearly
News.
informed. He's informed.
He's informed, but
he
he's
said it's better than smoking.
right.
he just-
but
he-
so
But
what?
He's the only one-
his
Are you fucking
response,
kidding?
his response to that fact is that of somebody who is uninformed. So what?
Well,
He's
even
getting
using
paid.
the uninformed argument when he said,
you're all
Yeah.
starving. So
I
what?
know a lot of people keep mentioning is, you know, the like what Flavor Jason was just saying about that. Does it help? Technically, yes. Like I get that, and that pisses a lot of people off. What pisses me off is at the very ass end of it. He jacked this up. Like everything he said before this didn't even matter because he said, how many other people, and he messed up when he said it. He knew he messed up. Like he said, how many other people besides me like Captain Crunch? Like
Oh yeah.
You literally just said, like, he fucked up. He was like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got my dick in my own ass. I can't do it. Like get the
like
fuck
he didn't
out of
know
here,
what
man.
to say. Like that was
So
it.
adults like flavors.
Somebody
So what?
Yeah. Somebody posted a picture of him sucking on a flavored lollipop.
I saw
and
that
put
shit.
his
I think
and
Eric
put
did
his
that.
fucking quote up there. Like flavors should be gone, but yet you're sucking on that lollipop like it was
Yeah.
a dick, and they're not paying you enough money to suck that dick. Like you fucking faggot.
How much money did Tootsie Pop pay?
Sorry.
That's the type of shit that
Fuck
fucking
outta here,
upsets me,
man.
bro. That shit is infuriating.
How is he in office? How is he
Isn't-
in office? I don't
Is he
get
the
it.
one that quit Trump or was fired from Trump's or am I getting
No,
him mixed up with someone else?
No. That's I don't even know the fucking guy's name, but that's
Yeah.
Cuomo. His I don't know. Was his father the same way? I don't even remember when I was younger. Cuomo, his
Is he a
father.
second
I don't know.
generation?
Senator, wasn't he?
He's second generation Cuomo. That's the son of the former New York City mayor.
Oh
Fucking
shit!
piece of shit. Yeah,
It's like
and
a
he
Bush.
was reelected. He was reelected plenty of times. I don't know why. It wasn't me. I'll tell you that.
There's no
fucking
term
much.
limits either, so you could just keep being governor over and
As
over.
a
and
governor,
over in
there's
New
no
York.
term
Over and
limit.
over.
Nope. He could be there
Him,
for
de
24 years.
Yeah. Him and De Blasio need to be locked up in a fucking room.
Well,
with me and
Bloomberg's just as bad too. Bloomberg, the
Oh,
mayor
yeah.
of New York City.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god. Oh my
Please.
god. Don't get me started with Bloomberg. Fuck
Right, but
him.
Bloomberg is the one with the $160 million, and then
Right.
How do you say his last name? It's Cuomo, right?
Cuomo or something.
Cuomo.
Yeah.
Cuomo.
Like, okay, like with a Q, Cuomo.
Right.
Yeah,
Not with
Okay,
an H.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
before
like-
Cuomo was Bloomberg, you know, and Bloomberg did that 160 million to remove or rid of flavors. So that's just convenient, though. That's
Well,
Yeah.
my question is
that makes
situation
sense.
instead.
my question is, I made a statement on the Ninja Militia. Why, if the government is so keen on banning flavors, why don't they address the major situations that are really real life epidemics, such as the meth epidemic, the opioid epidemic, the homeless epidemic,
They
the
should.
poverty epidemic, the treatment of veterans, especially?
Oh,
like Jay,
fucking-
you can
that's-
relate.
that-
Oh, I
yeah,
can relate,
man.
Tim. I can, but let's correct something though. Let me correct you on that, Tim. It's not about flavors anymore. You have to understand, it's not about that. It's about kids vaping, and then
But
you know what I mean. Like
we
it's
should
about teenagers vaping, and you like we heard about flavors obviously like 6 months ago, whatever.
Yeah,
Right, that's what kind of stemmed it all. But now the stealthy vaping, and then the flavors are trickled in, like they follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
side argument, if you will.
No,
Like
you're
it's
right.
off-label
You're right.
prescription. But I
difficult-
get what you're saying.
The thing is they should take precedence over the people that like us that have
need
fought
help.
for the freedom.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
But they're not
The
doing it.
difficulty I have with the whole
I agree.
situation is that this all stems from an outcry from Trump's fucking bullshit. That 30 seconds of him fucking up. And I feel like if he didn't say shit, and if this whole THC shit didn't happen, specifically with the vitamin E oil, and that I feel like is what got the ball rolling. That was the excuse. It was going to happen anyway, but that was the excuse. And again, Jay, you and I were talking. 2020, May 2020 is still a thing, and that still would have ended up
People are losing sight of that, though. Thesis. People are losing sight.
right, and
They
that's
are.
still right around the corner. And even if this didn't happen, that's still
It was going to happen regardless.
That removes flavors, but that doesn't remove vapes. You understand?
Yeah.
Yep, no, it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Removing vapes is kind of like
Yeah,
the
well, I
ultimate.
wonder, Jay. I wonder why they're lobbying to get rid of vaping completely in Jersey. Like, why? Because of this whole flavor ban shit.
I
Like,
think
I
their
don't
approach
understand.
is to be more New Jersey. Look at. I hate saying this argument, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but look at Jersey Shore, right? Like we have this mentality of like the show I'm talking about. I don't know if you ever watch it. It's really corny, but we have this mentality we have to be better and bigger. You know, we have something to
Yeah.
New York. You know, we fight over the Statue of Liberty being in our waters, but it's for New York, right? Like New Jersey has to make a standpoint and be. We have to be loud. We have to be proud. Jersey strong. I get it. I'm from Jersey. I get it. But don't. You're fucking with people what they own and what they want to do with their life.
It's an adult thing. Like you're a fucking grown adult.
You want to be cocky about tolls on roads and taxes and shit.
That's
whatever.
different. Yeah.
Right. You start telling
We should
people
be
what
able.
they can't do.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
We should be able to choose what we put into our body. If you guys want to go ahead and fuck up anything.
Even heroin. You want to put heroin in your body? Go for
That's
it.
I've
fine.
always-
You're a
I've always
adult.
said, dude,
Look
drugs.
at the fucking alcohol industry.
Right.
You see the
Alcohol,
flavors on
it doesn't
alcohol?
matter what the drug is. To me, like if you want to put something in your body, that's on you.
That's
If you want to
That's
fuck your life up, dude, that has nothing to do with me. So, dude, I will never judge somebody for doing some shit like that.
They're
Nicotine.
taking away our right. Yeah.
Nicotine.
taking away
Can you
our
say
right.
it for me, Flavor Chaser, real quick? Nicotine.
Fucking nicotine. I
Nicotine
can't do it without the effects. Go ahead.
is a nootropic. Perfect example. Nicotine has the same effects, similar effects as caffeine. In fact, in some cases, you can die a lot quicker from the
Why don't they
ingestion of
ban
Red
coffee?
Bull, of fucking Red Bull, than you would from a goddamn bottle of liquid. A 3 milligram bottle of liquid is less harmful than 6 fucking Red Bulls. You have no idea how many LAN parties I've been to, gaming, where I've watched people chug the 24, I don't know if it's 24 or 16 ounce Red Bull, the big cans, go, and then crack another one.
That's fucking
That
ridiculous,
shit
man.
blows my fucking mind. But guess what the difference is? There is no MSA on Red Bull. There is no MSA on Monster.
Yo,
on alcohol, yeah.
I'm a pretty big dude and stuff like that, but that's pretty disgusting, man.
It really
Dude,
is.
tell me about it.
That's
game much.
disgusting, man. The amount of
How many-
sugar that like speaking for myself, like every time I go into a doctor's office, the first thing they say is you're diabetic, aren't you? And I'm like, no, because I don't drink sugar. So why are you assuming that? But the thing is,
Wow.
if I'm gonna ingest like any kind of energy enhancing thing, it's gonna be something that's sugar free and fucking healthy. Like, you know, like Bang, for instance. Like, you know, we don't know the studies about Bang, but they're doing like flavors like cotton candy.
Yep, they have cotton candy flavor.
Raz and all this stuff. But the thing
That's
is
appealing
it's
to
helping
children.
me. So
I don't get it.
I never heard of Bang until my kids brought it up. My 6-year-old and my 8-year-old. I
Bang is
walked in the
fucking
convenience store and they
so
both
why
asked for
hasn't
Bang
that
is fucking
been?
disgusting.
Why isn't that brought?
my 6-year-old and my
Sorry,
8-year-old said,
Bang
"Oh,
is
Bang!"
fucking gross. That
It's
shit's
not
gross.
only is it gross,
I'm
if
sorry,
that's
that
not-
shit is gross.
you can literally
It is.
die from a can of Bang. If my 6-year-old chugged a bottle of a can of Bang, his
Yeah.
little ass heart would be done.
Why isn't anybody pushing the whole health benefits of nicotine? Because there are health benefits of nicotine. That is
I got-
Of course
fact.
there are.
That's not a joke. Like
I don't want to name the
it's
reviewer.
good.
There's a very large reviewer. When I had said all I said was I pulled up the Alzheimer's study. That's all I did.
No,
was
I'm
pull
not
up-
even talking Alzheimer's. Look up nicotine health benefits diabetes. Look that up.
I
Look
had
that
no
up.
idea that I 100%
Go
will.
look that up with blood. Go look. It's gonna blow your fucking
interesting.
mind.
So
Listen,
nicotine
it's,
health
I mean,
benefits.
nicotine, like speaking from a
diabetes.
culinary sense, nicotine is literally pretty much in every single vegetable that grows from the ground.
it's not it's not close to it's peppers and tomatoes, a specific type of vegetable. But I brought that up before, and I've gotten called out, and I was asked to remove a video
Potatoes.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see this whole thing where they tested the e-juice and they came up with fucking morphine and fucking all these kind of drugs?
But it
Did
was
you
a
guys see
urine
that?
test.
It was like a
Wisconsin.
weird-
Here's the thing.
It was a urine
test the
test.
liquid.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
was
not
a-
to cut off anybody, but there's also a video out of freaking water being tainted with different
Yeah.
types of pharmaceuticals around the country. Specifically for Jay, like New Jersey is a big one, Philadelphia is a big one, New York is a big one. There's a lot of antidepressants that are apparently in the water system that have been tested, and there has been actual legit hardcore evidence of like paperwork saying that there is this, and this kind of pharmaceutical in the water.
It starts with a Z, not Xanax. That's X. Zoloft was one of the highest tested ones.
Some
Yeah,
shit like that. Yeah.
Same with vitamin
That's
C.
fucking
So like if you ingest vitamin C, for example, your body can't break it down as much as you can ingest. You can ingest all you want, but your body can only the only amount that's bioavailable is small. So like if you test anywhere, the water of as long as it's tap water and city water, not well water, has such high volume of vitamin C. There's Zoloft. There's shit tons of lead that's in regular city water. It's mind blowing. It's fucking. My doctor told me too, face to face. He's like, look, your body naturally produces formaldehyde naturally as you expel carbon dioxide. There's a shit ton of chemicals your body makes up anyway by itself. So a lot of times these tests on e-liquid, especially when they're exhaling from a human being, they're also getting regular byproduct of just inhaling
of
whatever
the human body.
whatever the fuck's around you. Right. If the air is tainted in fucking Jersey or New York, especially New York, or especially LA, if you're just breathing regular ass air,
you could die from fucking breathing.
When they're doing those tests on the vapor to see what's in it, half the time they're dry hitting the damn thing. That's where they're getting all the levels of the formaldehyde and metals and all the rest of it.
Listen,
they're dry hitting the atomizers.
Yep.
There was a test done a really long, I want to say about 2-3 years ago, where somebody had some kind of professional equipment, walked into a vape shop. They shut the windows, shut the doors, and everybody's hotboxed that motherfucker. Then they took a reading of just the vapor, and there was no carcinogens, nothing. It was just like breathing in regular fucking air. So
it was cleaner than the air out on the street.
Right. Because what is it? Propylene glycol. Propylene glycol. They use it in hospitals to filter out the bacteria. That's what they use.
That's what propylene glycol was initially used for. Yep.
Is there a video on that? Like, because I used to, like, when I was in the military, I used to do paint and aircraft corrosion prevention, and they would literally set up stands, and I'd be the person in charge of talking to the industrial hygienist that would say, hey, you need to wear this kind of respirator, this, and I'd have to implement it. Is there an actual video where we can see that, and then we can make it public so people can actually see this?
I think there are tests done where you'll just get the text. I don't think there are any videos on it. And I think it was a reputable company that performed the test, but I don't think there's any videos because I have tried looking for that and I couldn't find it.
I did love to see that video. I would love to. I would love to purchase the equipment.
We should, right. I was just going to say that we should get somebody to actually do it like, up to today's standards and bring it up, to help us. Listen, the government's going to do whatever the fuck they want, regardless if you're sitting there dying, pouring out your fucking heart and telling them how much vaping's helped you. They're just like the council meeting in New York.
You saw Reaper. I saw Reaper, dude.
I saw Reaper,
that, right?
Yeah,
Reaper, and I said that in the fucking in the comments.
The freaking Hitler comment.
I told him, I'm like, so can we elect Reaper to something, please?
I ran into him twice. I ran into him. I think I
saw him at
NVE, but it was in NVE, and I was talking to bro. He is like a really good advocate for this industry because he was the one that schooled bars. Jay, you remember when Barstool Sports was at fucking what was that?
Yeah.
And that motherfucker was trying to bring us down hard, but
oh my
Reaper,
God,
he
Vape
fucking
God?
tore his ass. Yeah, I hate that. If I would see him in the street, I'd punch him in the fucking mouth. But anyway, he was the one.
Like honestly, I tried to ask permission from Reaper to put a bounty on the hat for Vape God, and he told me not to. And I respect that because then he'll act like he's the victim. But I really want that freaking hat so I can keep it and then auction it off to advocacy.
But I have a theory. I know that this is going to go against what everybody believes here, but what's the saying? You catch more bees with honey than you do flies with shit, right? Or
vinegar.
Vinegar, yeah.
Okay. With vinegar, yeah.
So I understand he's passionate. I get it. I'm with him, everything he said. But the problem I have is you don't run into a court and you don't yell at a judge.
That's
right?
I was going to bring
my
up.
problem.
He brought too much emotion to that.
Right.
I respect him way too much.
You hit him with the numbers. You say some powerful shit. you getting emotional and tearing and crying will be a whole lot more effective
Right.
than you yelling. Because when
he
people
did.
start yelling, think about what
He
happens
did.
in a fight. When someone starts
Yeah.
yelling at you, either get pissed off or you walk away. No one's
Right.
like, yeah, let me hear your
No, you're
side
right.
of the
Jay,
thing.
I just had
agree.
that.
I
Jay,
agree.
can I ask you a personal like because we've experienced the same thing. Now, like if there's a commanding officer or an OIC, is it more scarier for somebody to yell at you, or is it more really impacting when somebody comes at you calm and they tell you fucked up?
Well, from an officer standpoint in the military, you don't really hear a lot of officers yell at you. It's usually enlisted. Officers usually takes a gentleman's approach, but of course, basic training they teach you. They yell at you. They're that's what they do. They yell and they get their point across. But again, this is a different setting, right? My mind is simple. I brought this up is when you but the way that I see it is real simple, right? Like I get it. It's a public environment. It's, civilians. I understand that. But even the way that I was taught, when you walk indoors, you take your fucking hat off.
Yes.
Like, I don't care.
Yes, exactly.
Especially when you're in a court setting or anything where it's indoors. But that's not just the Reaper. That's everybody that was there. That's just a lack of
sign of respect.
Yeah, I mean, but I agree with everything he said except for the Hitler comment. I don't.
Well, the Hitler comment was just like I was a little off put by that. But when he I can agree with you, Jay. When he actually started yelling, I was watching it, going like, "Oh, that's not what you do." Like I was getting that, and I could understand. Listen, dude is an awesome guy. He put his
absolutely.
He
agree.
Actually showed up and did what he had to do for the vaping.
I agree.
Which I respect.
100%. 100% agree.
But I can, like I said, I agree with you also, because these people are not just looking at him and saying, all right, he was coming off strong, but now he's a dick, so we're just going to totally ignore him.
Right.
Now.
Let me give you a prime example. So I had the same, this is years ago. This is a vape ban in Minneapolis that happened in circa 2014, 2015, 2016. I was in the council meeting. This is when Greg Connolly first became like the full-blown legitimate, what is that called? Lobbyist. Met him, shook hands, we sat and talked. And this dude from New York who opened up a salon here in Minneapolis allowed his employees and the patrons of his shop to vape and thought it was great. And he also, he didn't vape himself, but he said, listen, this is my store. Most people in here vape, including the customers. And as he started to talk, like he made the most perfect, beautiful point about this country being, a place of freedom. This is my business. It's a privately owned business. It's not like it's fucking McDonald's, right? It's people who come and they make appointments, and then they also do, return customers and shit. So halfway through this conversation is when he started to lose all of the chairmen and chairladies and shit. Is when he started to go off on these rants where he started to get pissed off and angry and started to point at them. And I was like, bro, like you should have been done 10 minutes ago. It would have been short, simple, and sweet. All you had to do is say what you said about this being a place of freedom and it's a private business. And I watched the whole Reaper thing. The Hitler comment was unnecessary. But I think that fucking dude is passionate. I think he's gonna say what he believes.
I agree.
He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. But he also said everything he said had a point to it. Even the Hitler comment, he had a point to it.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like that's up until he started chanting and starting and enticing the crowd to start chanting. Like I respect the fact is that he brought up a comment of somebody that was, really terrible in a sense. That says words, but the thing is like I would have rather like he not have brought so much emotion to
I concur, Tim.
I'm
right there with you. I concur, Tim.
May I interject for a second? I don't think he enticed the crowd. I think from what he said, people were affected by it and they started getting up and clapping and getting him on. So I think all that energy, that residual energy, made him lash out like that. So that was just my opinion on the way I was seeing it.
It could have been an emotional response. I can.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Real quick, I'm curious on something. Aaron, Aaron, Riot, Rio, bro, Ron. You're down in where my family's from in Texas, where they give no fucks about anything.
Sure.
What is the current climate in terms of vaping? So real quick, let me just add. So El Paso, where a lot of my family's from, they send me screenshots and they send me pictures of the vape shops down there, and the prices of liquid is still sitting at around 65 cents a mil, depending on the shop, even higher. 65 is like the low end. What is the climate where you're at specifically?
It's a good question, because I do spend a lot of time in local shops, including today. So I have very recent, view of what's actually going on in the businesses. And luckily,
What town are you in?
I live in Killeen, next to Fort Hood.
Oh, okay.
About an hour drive north of Austin. Luckily, I have not really seen any kind of negative effects on the businesses here yet. So everything that I'm seeing that is going on is affecting all these outlying states that everybody's talked about so far already.
Similar here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Same similar. Everyone's fighting. The local shop here's got a petition, an actual physical petition. So if you make a purchase, if you call, just like I'm doing on the Patreon page, like if you fucking call, you send me a screenshot, you're automatically entered for $100 giveaway. It's the same shit. They're doing. You write your name down, they witness you. Make the phone call right there. They automatically put you in for a giveaway. P.S. Not a giveaway on Patreon. It's a fucking $12 sale. You can't report that shit. I already cleared it with Patreon. It's not a giveaway.
Yeah,
It's
Patreon will
it's a
fuck
drawing.
you that way,
It's a
right?
drawing. It's a drawing. Yeah, it's a drawing for a chance to purchase. That's what it is. But so, are any shops doing the similar in Texas? And this is the numbers we're calling real quick. Just want to go ahead and shut this out. Cuomo, I'm still calling. I still called as of this morning. It's Saturday still. Of course, you get nothing. I'm just fucking trying to annoy somebody. New Jersey, Phil Murphy, 609-292-6000. Mayor of Chicago is Lori E. Lightfoot, 312-744-3300. And then, of course, White House, 202-456-1111, and then 1414. Same first 6 numbers. Bam.
Yeah, I will say
Missouri's next.
on the side of
Missouri's
advocacy,
next. We just had
I
our-
think the position that we're in right now, it is kind of giving us the opportunity to try to attack this ahead of time. I've got screenshots of emails, or I've sent messages to the governor of Texas and the deputy governor, whatever the hell he's called, the White House, of course, and a lot of the shop owners that I know are making plans on going out to some of these events and rallies that people are trying to plan.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
making their voices heard. And when customers come in the shop, they're telling them, hey, save us. We're getting attacked. Help us. Email these people, call these numbers, and handing them a piece of paper with important outlets that they can reach out to try to stop this before it hits us.
Yeah, I seen somebody post something about Georgia was going to be hit with a flavor ban, but something happened and they passed the notion that they shouldn't ban it. So I don't know if I was reading that correctly.
They're waiting. Georgia's waiting for more medical advice before they make any
more studies and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's what
they said. They don't want to fly off. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but they don't want to fly off the handle and make a judgment based off of hearsay and news.
Right.
It's a very good thing.
So
it's actually very good. Yeah.
You mean they're waiting for facts? Is that what you're saying? They're waiting for facts before they make a decision?
Waiting. Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, but not like fucking New York and Michigan and wherever else where they just do. It's like going into a supermarket and buying the first thing you see because you're an impulsive fuck. That's what they're doing here. They're just like, you know what?
Well,
and Cuomo, that scumbag, put it into emergency for New York, like it needed to be done now. Like fuck you. Like I used to start on that prick.
I am a old school Democrat, meaning now it'd be considered libertarian. I am so disappointed with some of my own parties, dude. And it's gotten to the point where again, just talking about this with Jay the other day, I'm happy to switch parties. I'm happy to move over to the Republican Party if they, if Trump can promise that he won't enact a flavor ban, done. But it's also on a state scale, not even federal. That's the worst part because
federal doesn't even matter. I know people all want to push this federal shit. It doesn't fucking matter. It's state, man. Right. It's states. States are slamming it. States are states are doing their own fucking thing.
I mean, speaking of states, the first death apparently, according to Missouri, happened here in Missouri like a couple days ago, and they're saying all over the media that it was vaping, and they're getting their facts wrong, and it's actually the THC cartridges. And they're not mentioning that in the articles at all. So, like, if anybody in the chat knows anything about Missouri, like, literally, I'm getting ready to talk to Senator Hawley, Senator Blunt, in Missouri about my case as far as a veteran standpoint, but you best believe I'm going to bring up that as well if I get them on the phone or video chat, and you best believe I'm going to record every single second of it. So if anybody has any input that I can give to Senator Hawley, please post it in the chat. I will bring it up to him I will do anything if you are a Missouri citizen, because we're next.
The first death, this is in order, of course.
I was going to say that
the first death was Illinois, August 23rd, 2019. Illinois officials claim possible first death from vaping-related illness. Second was Oregon, September 5th. There's no names except for 2 that are attached. Indiana, September 6th.
There's
Minnesota, September 6th. Los Angeles, California, September 11th. Kansas, September 10th. And then Tulare County, California, September 17th. And then Missouri, September 19th. So there's in every single one of those, every single one is over the age of 18. 90% of those are over the age of 30. So and no
they
names.
Should be able to consent to what they're doing, right? Correct?
Sure.
Consenting adults.
The other thing is, so there is
THC.
They fucked up on their own.
That is all THC confirmed deaths.
There is one nicotine-based confirmed death that I remember that had nothing to do with the vapor itself. It was a dumbass using a stacked mod with either one or both of the batteries were. It was the explosion. One or both of the batteries were nicked.
There's 2.
So and it ended up by fucking the shit up to the point where he did pass away. But that's not even vaping itself, because that could fucking happen if you shove a set of 18650s in my fucking flashlight right now as we speak. That can happen in that.
Yeah, I got a flashlight right here that has an actual 1860 or 1860 feet like fucking sleeve in it that I actually put the battery in. If I don't put it in there, best believe if I have a nick on that, it's gonna explode. So
as long as the chassis is metal, so that's what I'm saying.
Well,
so
this is metal. This is metal.
Right, the sleeve I'm talking about, but that's besides the point.
The sleeve is plastic, but the thing is even flashlight companies are putting the precautionary measures of putting a plastic insert.
Oh, I see what you're saying. One of my that's sitting right there, 26650. Could you imagine if that fucking thing went off and I wasn't careful with the wrap? Yeah.
Look, it's like what Jay said. Right now, we are down on the floor, and all these motherfuckers are just kicking us until we're almost fucking dead.
It's one thing when it's a politician kicking you, though. When someone in your own community is being like, "Give me fucking free juice."
Yeah, no.
While you're going out of business, that's a different story.
That aggravates me, but
because that's your own. That's like, it's literally like having cousins you haven't talked to in a decade come up to you while you're in a hospital bed and be like, "Hey, yo, let me raid your studio, bro."
Like, I get it. It's just we're at a point right now where everything is just hitting the fucking fan, and the amount of shit that's just I'm seeing it like they just want to eliminate anything and everything all at once as many states as possible. And it's just mind-boggling how, like we talked about before, you're just putting people out of business, and you're just fucking with people's right to fucking choose what they want. You're taking away our rights. You're taking away what we want to do when our government should be supporting us. That's what they're there for. They're there to fucking make sure that the public and everybody is in, like, for instance, the CDC, the FDA, they're supposed to do things to make public health right. But taking the shit away from us is just going the opposite direction. And as I said, noted to the point where it's all about fucking money, and nobody gives a shit about anything at this point. So for 18650s, for flavors, for vaping, as in Jay's case, where they want to ban it totally, it's just, like I said, we're just down, and they're kicking the fucking shit out of us.
Now, real quick, to be clear, in New York, it's a complete ban, the entire state, as well, in terms of flavors. New Jersey is going to be the entire state in terms of 100% vaping.
Yes. So right now,
Chicago is the same thing. Chicago is but that's within city limits, which is a little bit different. But Chicago's got millions of people.
You might as well just take away vaping away from us right now, because eventually menthol's going, and there's probably going to take away tobacco too. So taking away these flavors from us and leaving us with just the devices isn't going to do jack shit. So you might as well just take everything the fuck away.
It's going to end up by being a mixture of PGVG, and then people are going to start grabbing food flavoring from your supermarket.
Yeah,
and I should correct.
It's going to a black market. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. I should correct myself from your question earlier, Thesis, because I just remembered that a friend of mine that works in the shop, manages a shop in San Antonio, did send me some documentation saying that the city of San Antonio, Texas, is actually trying to pass a flavor ban there.
San Antonio is?
Yes, sir.
San Antonio is fairly liberal. It's not liberal, but it's liberal for Texas.
Absolutely.
So is Austin. So that's mind blowing.
Yeah, and luckily Austin hasn't done anything yet. San Antonio is the first that I know
huge in the vape industry.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the headquarters of Craving Vapor, I believe.
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it.
It's like why can't
real quick, guys? We have 11 more minutes, so let's continue this conversation. Then we'll wrap it up and shout everybody's credentials and shit out. Let's keep going.
Right, keep going. You guys good?
So, aside from just calling, aside from just tweeting, Flavor Chaser, where are you at with your channel? Because you review nothing but flavors.
No, I review hardware. No, I do.
700 flavors you've reviewed, correct?
That's what you said. A lot. That could be. I said I have 700 and something videos.
Okay.
So I could the majority of them are flavored liquids. Yeah, but I do hardware. I do atomizers, pod systems, mods, kits and shit. But go ahead, what's your question?
Well, the question is, where do you stand in terms of New York specifically? Can you order from outside the state?
Right now, I mean, outside the state, I haven't tried it. To be honest with you, I haven't tried it yet.
A lot of businesses have stopped shipping to Michigan or New York.
Yeah.
Go ahead. See, my own sponsor, Pod Juice, but that's because Minnesota pushed it out tax wise. So making the liquid here is fine. Exporting it's fine. It's importing the liquid with nicotine already in the bottle is where the problem comes in. Pod Juice stopped shipping to Minnesota. A shit ton of liquid companies won't ship to Minnesota because of the tax. It's a 90%, 95, something like that % tax if there's nicotine in the bottle.
I can tell you what's going to happen, but I'm not going to say it live on air.
Okay.
Because I do so many reviews for ejuice.deals and that money comes out of my own pocket. There's something in the works where, like I said, we'll talk about that off air or something.
Yeah, I don't recommend you to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, but what I'm saying is, since this flavor ban went into effect, I haven't tried to order anything else from anywhere else. So if that makes any kind of sense. So I don't know what their terms are about me being in New York. As I said, off camera or whatever, there's something in the works, but we'll see what happens. I don't have any evidence to provide for you about ordering or will they ship to New York or not. So,
Jay, where does it stand in terms of what do you suggest aside from calling and tweeting? Is there anything else that we can do as a community before it happens in New Jersey?
If there is a rally or a meeting, to go to that town hall and be there, or whatever it is, conference court, it doesn't matter. If there is some type of hearing, I suggest you get as many people as possible. And if you're going to pull a little, I recommended this on my live stream, that if you really want to go extreme, there's two things that you could do. Number one is everybody dress like you're going to a funeral to make a standpoint. Like, if you take this away from us, we're going to fucking die. Number one. Yeah. I know it's a bit extreme, but that's what gets the most attention when it comes to the news. Right. And then another option would be bring a bunch of cardboard and cut them out like gravestones, and then everybody could just put them on each other laying outside on the ground like they're dead. So make a stand. I know it's a bit extreme, but
no. Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jay, but in order to do let's just say a protest or something, do you need specific permits to do that, or do you just show up?
Depends on where it is. Like, you do the White House.
If it's in Washington,
yeah. Like a protest, but they're having a hearing. No, you could be there.
You just show up.
Yep.
Do you think? What do you think that would be? What I mean, would that like do anything?
I think
to
it
help
shows
out the
numbers.
situation?
It's kind of
Yeah.
intimidating, like the
Yeah.
mob mentality.
Right.
I'm not saying to
Right.
do a riot or do anything illegal.
No. I get
on
what
that.
you're saying.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the people
I hate
watching.
to interrupt the chat, but there has been a super chat. Will Romney and Mike Murphy's end act to Senate means all states favor banned and taxed? Question to Thesis.
Will Romney and Merkley's end act to Senate mean all states? I don't know the answer. I genuinely don't know the answer.
Does anybody on the panel happen to know the answer?
I don't.
Do you guys believe that there's anything that those of us outside the US can do to help? Because without a doubt, if it goes south completely for you guys, it's going to happen everywhere else.
That's sad.
I don't. Wait, you want to know what?
The UK though, I don't.
Rough.
Do you believe that there's anything that we could do to help?
Outside of the US?
Yes. For the people outside of the US, is there anything do you believe that there's anything that we would be able to do that would help your situation?
Maybe CASA. Can you do that from outside the country?
Donate? Yeah.
Like go to CASA and sign petitions and stuff like that. I guess that would be more suitable. But outside, I don't
signed
know.
up with CASA myself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And speaking of Romney, I don't know. You were talking about a viewer or somebody that sends you a comment.
Yep.
But now Mitt Romney got on the vaping bandwagon, saying that they got all these tests from laboratories and shit, and they're actually starting something on, because I seen him posted on his Facebook saying that vaping is bad and all these non-vaping, non-smoking campaigns. So it's just getting worse. So at this point, if you're outside state, I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I could suggest is probably sign petitions or, do things along those lines. But I don't really see much can be done from outside the United States at this point.
No, it really isn't.
I went to Lefebvre's page on Facebook the other day, and I clicked on his petition. That's probably all I could do about that. I can't call the White House or anything.
Yeah.
As much as I want to
White House.
as much as I want to call the White House and call Trump a dickhead to his face.
Yeah. What they do
again,
is
that's on a federal scale. The state
Yeah.
scale is actually what matters right now, which is I don't know that many countries have the same the same situation, like in terms of states. I know Mexico does, but not really. You know what I mean?
I know the UK supports vaping a lot more than we
Yep.
do. Like,
they
even let you vape outside hospitals, or sometimes there's like
the vape shops
shit
in the hospitals.
Yeah, in that, I mean, that's where we should be. But instead of
I was talking about this the other day.
direction-
My doctor is a Mayo Clinic board director, and he was the first one to bring up like people need to start switching. But he said it himself. We had this conversation literally just weeks ago. He's like, dude, he's like, I'm too ahead of the times, and you guys are too ahead of the times when you're trying to battle money. You're not battling health right now. You're battling money, and that's the worst part. We have one guy. We have Greg Connolly.
You know what the worst part is? Like even my neighbors, like I talk to my neighbors a lot, and he smokes cigarettes and I vape, and he's saying like the problem is the media is brainwashing everybody. So even though I know the truth and I know what vaping really stands for and the health benefits it provides, I get ignorant comments like, hey, you're going to die from that. Yet they're smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, bro, you're going to be fucking really worse off than me. Yes, vaping is not tested. We don't know the exact things that are in it for long-term vaping, but I'll take vaping over smoking cigarettes any fucking day. You know what I mean? And the ignorance that I'm hearing from people on the street. So for people trying to get smokers off cigarettes into vaping, with all the shit in the media right now, that's going to be really fucking hard, because people are really naive sometimes and they take things at face value and they're like, oh, vaping, oh, that's the news craze right now, you're going to die, there's so many chemicals. And it's just it's aggravating to watch grown adults that can be brainwashed as much if you're not educated on the subject. You know, it's just it's ignorance is bliss, as they say.
My favorite one is when someone tells me I'm vaping battery acid, because it
Yeah,
takes batteries.
or antifreeze. That one, I just want to punch him in the mouth with a brick.
We actually had the head of the Australian, I think it was the Australian Medical Association, go on to our version of 60 Minutes and tell everybody that they're vaping antifreeze. Now, what these people don't realise is that antifreeze is safer than it used to be because they replaced the ethylene glycol with propylene glycol.
Yeah,
because
right. That's where they're making the connection. Yeah,
animals were licking radiator coolant up off the streets and dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what people are making the misconception.
Vaping has with radiator coolant and antifreeze.
Right, they're saying the propylene glycol. Isn't that the stuff in antifreeze?
The same.
No, I mean,
so there's the same chemical that's used in yoga mats. There's the same chemical that's used in yoga mats that's used in McDonald's buns. It doesn't mean McDonald's buns is fucking made out of yoga mats. You feel me?
Yeah.
It might in McDonald's case it might be, but that's besides the point. It's just one fucking chemical. All right, guys, I gotta fucking take a nap. I've been up editing this goddamn video for a fucking week. AA Ron, aka Rio, aka Riot, aka Aaron, thank you so much for joining. Vapors Haze yourself, thank you so much. Flavor Chaser, would you like to shout out the channel?
Sure. Flavor Chaser Vape Reviews. That's youtube.com/Flavor Chaser. You guys can find me over there, and I do my thing. Hopefully, this New York ban won't put me out of the YouTube business, but we'll see where it goes. So you guys know where to find me.
100%.
Thesis, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you for joining.
And, no, you're welcome. And Jay, it was good talking to you again, and everybody else on the panel. It was good to meet you guys. Hope to do it again soon with hopefully more promising news for the vaping community.
God willing, man.
Plain and simple.
Jay, yourself?
You could find me on Jay Hayes. That's it. If you don't know who I am, then I don't know what you're doing.
Everybody knows Jay.
Fucking Tim, thank you so much. Because of so anyone that's aware, most of my YouTube channel has been demonetized at this point. I am no longer able to go live on Saturdays like this. I mean, I am now. We found a workaround. Thank God for fucking workarounds and learning some shit. But my Google account's banned. Vaping with Thesis, the brand account is banned. So I cannot use third-party applications such as Zoom. They took away Google Hangouts. I cannot use any of those things. Because of Tim, I am now able to have the Saturday Rewick back up. So big shout out to you, Tim. Thank you so much for helping, bro.
Can I ask you a question, Thesis?
Absolutely.
Vaping with Thesis, is that the YouTube or the Google account name?
That's my YouTube name is youtube.com/vaping with Thesis, but my brand account associated with my YouTube is in perfect standing. I contacted
Have you ever thought
Google
about getting rid of the vaping? Because I think maybe I haven't made money on YouTube in months since they did this shit. I get zero revenue from it.
So Matt tried this. A couple other way bigger reviewers than myself tried this, and
you have a super chat. You have a super chat. Sorry to interrupt. Love you guys. Keep up the most amazing job. Love you guys bunches.
Thank you so much, Miss Brown.
Love you guys too.
Mwah. So it's my account was banned due to a mishap on Google's side. Do you guys remember Google Plus?
Yeah.
When they took Google Plus away, my account was in the pool of several thousand people who got their shit just obliterated, just deleted in the ether. And they said, sorry, like it was a mistake, but there's nothing we can do about it because it's gone. I'm like, thanks. You fucked my business up. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we are able to go live via a live link. How do you say that? Remotely. So on Saturdays. So huge. And sometimes it's Fridays because right now I'm getting married. And again, I want to give a big shout out to everyone, the channel, the Patreons, the Ninja Militia, all you guys for being patient. The next few weeks, it's going to be bare bones, maybe one at the most, maybe one video a week for the next few weeks because I'm getting married. I'm saving up as much money possible, DJing for other people's weddings and shit just to pay for fucking all that stuff. So with that said, thank you guys for being patient. After October 14th, everything will be right back to normal. Bitches. Okay, some other truckers. Now, with that being said, I want to tell you that I appreciate you for Vaping with Thesis. It is your boy Thesis. We're out. Do I have to end this myself, Tim? Oh, yeah. This is fucking old school.